In a game that took nearly 4 hours to complete and saw over 900 total yards of offense, it was Marshall coming up on the wrong end of a 48-25 decision. Kalissa Lacey loves the Carolinas and maybe even James Taylor too. Marshall players now have a must-win mentality with emotions set to run high as the team will honor and remember the 75 people who were tragically killed in the 1970 plane crash. The Mountain State may have lost the Greenbrier Classic for good, but for the first time in history, World Team Tennis will call the Greenbrier home for a 3-week summer season. Woo! That was fast. And guys, normally this never happens, but the Rock Hill team and coaching staff got me my own Channel 13 jersey. They've been so thankful for the coverage. It's pretty cool, right, guys? Salt sprinkling. This is new. This is.
I'm gonna call it grilling.
Grilling.
Not cooking.
This is my new favorite tool. I gotta get one of these.
There you go.
Coach, these are fantastic.
I appreciate that, man. I'll send you home some leftovers.
It all started here for Charleston native Montana Fouts.
This ballpark, I've been probably every inch of that. So every time I get to come home, I get to have a little piece of my childhood back.
And continued in Grayson, Kentucky, as the East Carter High School grad remembers her days with the Lady Raiders.
I think that was really a special time for me, my dad, my teammates. At East Carter, we played varsity when you were 6th grade then. Now it's moved to 7th. So I had some really good friends and, we were with each other every day.
Now the Alabama Rising Junior is one of the best college softball pitchers in the nation. So what makes her so effective?
I feel like it's definitely like a preparation thing. Like I always try to do everything leading up so I don't have to second guess myself.
I don't think she's afraid of anybody. She's very competitive. She's very prepared. She was the hardest working pitcher we'd ever recruited. And that says a lot because we've had probably 20 All-American pitchers at Alabama.
Last season, the 2019 SEC Freshman of the Year helped lead the Crimson Tide to the Women's College World Series.
I got there and I was just kind of like, had to take a deep breath, but definitely a dream come true, and I'd like to see there for like another 3 years.
Fouts is now a fan favorite in Tuscaloosa.
People just love going to watch Montana. It's almost like, Prince, Madonna, and Montana. She has that type of following already. It's going to be really, really scary how good she could be.
We definitely couldn't do what we do without them. They show up every game, whether it's a midweek or not, and they definitely impact the way we play on the field.
And while her fans now wear crimson and white, all of her success started in the tri-state area as she continues to build her legacy.
It's time now for the Sports Zone.
The Big 12 SEC Crossover Challenge is often used as a good measuring stick to see just how far the conferences stack up against each other. It also gives fans a possible preview as to what we may see come tournament time. Number 11 WVU hosting Florida in Morgantown. Opening minutes of play, Miles McBride gives the Mountaineers a 2-point lead on this step-back jumper. We move to the second half. Florida with a key turnover, and Kendrion Johnson going to get the pass and goes up top. WVU on top by 1. A few minutes later, Mountaineers down by 4. Taz Sherman lets one fly from 3-point land. WVU down 75-74. West Virginia fought to the final horn, but struggled late, and the Gators knock off the Mountaineers in Morgantown 85-80. After the loss, head coach Bob Huggins says he didn't see a fire in his team's eyes.
They're good. They've got really good players, and they got us spread. We just didn't play with a lot of aggression.
Elsewhere, Morehead State on fire right now. The Eagles push their winning streak to 9 games with a big 74-55 victory over Tennessee Tech. Skylar Powder leading the way for Morehead with 22 points in the win. And in the Mountain East Conference, Charleston held off a late West Liberty rally and won by 4. It's now 6 consecutive wins for the Golden Eagles. UC visits Fairmont State on Wednesday. Back in the capital city, UC Women's Hoops is off to its best start since 2005. That year, the Golden Eagles went all the way to the Elite 8. Charleston trying to start this season a remarkable 8-0 with a win today over MEC rival West Liberty. No one allowed into the game, just the cardboard cutouts watching from the stands. First quarter action, Erica Russell drives. She gets the hoop and the harm. UC ahead by 3. More from Russell in a moment. Still in the first quarter, UC starting to heat up. Brooke Pinnell buries the triple. UC now up 19-8. Pinnell with 18 points in this one. In the second, West Lib with no answers on how to slow down Russell. She made it look easy all game long and had 31 points in this contest. Charleston now leads 35-19. A few possessions later, Dakota Reeves can't connect from downtown, but check out the hustle on her own rebound. She grabs the ball and the basket. Charleston led by 14 at the half. They go on to hammer West Liberty 87-71. The Golden Eagles are now 8-0. After winning its last 4, WVSU falls at home to Wheeling 104-99. Next up for the 4-4 Yellow Jackets, a road meeting on Wednesday against Frostburg. Make it 8 wins in a row for number 24 West Virginia. The Mountaineers beat the Horned Frogs on the road 79-70. 13-2 West Virginia returns to the court on Wednesday for a home meeting against Iowa State. On the high school scene, decision day finally here for Polka standout shooting guard Isaac McNeely. 8 major programs want the Polka product, including Kentucky, UNC, WVU, Louisville, and even Virginia. The junior commits to play his college ball at Virginia. The 4-star guard made his commitment to UVA on Twitter today. McNeely averaged 22 points a game in his sophomore year and led the Dots to a sensational 21-3 start before the pandemic shut down the season. The rising senior also guided Polka to the state tournament as a freshman. A big congrats to Isaac, and we wish him nothing but the best moving forward. The first blockbuster NFL trade of 2021 saw a pair of #1 overall selections receive new homes. The Rams and Lions make a deal, sending Matt Stafford to Los Angeles for Jared Goff. Detroit also gets 2 first-round draft picks and a 3rd-round draft pick from L.A. Stafford went to the Pro Bowl in 2014 and was also the league's fastest player to reach 45,000 passing yards. It took him only 165 games. Of course, we'll be in for a busy NFL offseason. That'll do it for sports here on 13 News at 6. We'll be right back.